Welcome to Odessa Season 2. Tonight is a busy night for Johanna. She has hunted in the guild halls, quietly murdered the victim, and disposed of the body, as is now becoming almost habit to her. Not that she likes it, but it is what it is. People die, and these people are dying. So, after her nightly dinner, she cleans herself off and makes her way to Timoren as she is expected by the seneschal there. They've corresponded a little bit, arranging a good time. Johanna has things to speak to Madeline about, and it's been a while since they've had the chance to catch up. It's been a while, and the city's been in some turmoil. Johanna is leaving behind her house guests, separated and left fed and entertained. Um, But she does leave her ghouls behind this time with instructions that if anything at all should happen, to let them both go and send immediate word to her and Timorin.
Hmm.
But Johann herself comes riding up the path.
There will be a figure you remember.
Mm-hmm.
This tallish woman
Mm-hmm. With the
is
scar.
waiting. You will be allowed to enter the gates
Mm-hmm.
by the word of this young woman,
Okay.
and she will follow you, lead you up to the tower where you will be greeted by Madeline. Again, through many, well, levels of guards
Mm-hmm.
standing and watching this place.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, at some point, Madeline will, she will just be outside and she will just come walking over to you and just, good evening, good evening. Joanna, it is so good to see you. Please, come.
Good evening. The pleasure is all mine. It is good to see you again. She kind of glances back at the many, many guards between her and the gate. Just without really meaning to, because, yeah, things. And then she turns to follow Madeline with a smile that is easy and comfortable. You are well guarded here. You seem prepared for war.
Hmm. Well, I do as my prince wishes, but
What?
I must say that, well, the the plague has everyone on edge.
There is no point in pretending war is not coming.
It seems as though it might very well be the case.
It
Sadly.
was a compliment, not a criticism.
Well,
I'm glad to know that there's some I do not need to worry about.
hmm. Well, I thank you for your compliment. Although, although war brings many lessons with it, I am not. I have never been used to it, and never really fought in a war before. Not in earnest.
She lowers her voice and reaches to kind of gently tuck her arm through Madeline's, though she's very, very careful of her hands. She doesn't. Her hands don't brush Madeline's side or her arm, and she kind of like links elbows with her so that her hand is not actually touching Madeline at all.
Hmm.
Are you afraid? I will tell no one if the answer is yes.
Hmm. I am many things, but afraid? No.
Good.
I
Good.
am soldiers, people who fight in wars. They can teach me and others much, but sadly, wars have a tendency to take so many of them with them. I do not know if the lessons are worth it, if the losses, all of the people that will be lost so fast, if it is indeed worth it. That is perhaps what I fear, what it might take from us.
It's an interesting question. If war didn't take so many of them from us, would the remainder have anything left to teach?
Hmm. A very good observation. Uh, come,
And a
and
little too blithe. But she just kind of squeezes Madeline's arm gently and follows her.
mm, and then they make it into the. Actually, Madeline will probably go into the gardens,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very much alone here. And Madeline just, well, it is truly here that I can be at ease. I hope
Well,
that my little attempt to pacify Margot has not put you too much on edge. What's done is done. I would do it again. I hope you understand.
her brows raise and she glances back at Madeline, studies her face for a moment, looking kind of faintly amused. I appreciate your reassurance. I think it is that. It is not an apology, but be at ease. I shall give you a reassurance of my own. I understand why you acted as you did. I do not begrudge you the attempt, but I am pleased it failed.
Hmm.
I would be pleased again, I think, were the opportunity to arise.
Madeline just looks at her and smiles. A very honest answer. I am glad.
Tell me, what did you hope to do with her?
Learn the nature of her connection with this beast. Does she conspire with someone? Is it simply a matter of her embrace? Or did she do some things to attract its attention? Is she in league with it? And most importantly, does she talk with others? Are there other infernalists in the city?
Johanna nods, very slowly, very thoughtfully.
It is one of the Aldrich is a bit more versed in these creatures, but from what he says, and from what I saw at poor Omar's shop, they are some of the most frightening and problematic things that we can meet. So,
I've heard many tales of them. I've spoken of them all my long nights, and yet I had not met one in its flesh until the night of the plague, and now again. But I think it is time for me to learn what I can about fighting them, driving them out. I'd very much like to be useful to my clanmate,
hmm,
and I
I do
think she
not.
is not well equipped to study.
Well, that is true. I share your beliefs on this, but I do not know if If there is a way to save her, I would hope to have learned that as well. But alas, I do not have her in my possession. But if we were to find another way, a way to save her from this monster, then I would welcome it. But it must be done swiftly. This thing has grown strong in a matter of weeks to a strength that is quite considerable. We must not give it pause, and we must act quite swiftly.
Indeed. I think you're correct. Do you think the plague feeds it?
Well,
They arrived at the same time. Or,
exactly. The timing seems, well, conspicuous at best.
mm,
Suspicious at best.
Johanna kind of closes her eyes and wrinkles her nose and just nods. Aldrich has been a great deal of help. He's very wise. Wiser than his name would have led me to believe.
Wiser than his name. Hmm. Well, he knows very many things and is very capable.
He does. And he is.
There are a few places where I hope to assist him, being as good as him, perhaps a little bit better. But those things are very few.
The idea of such a formidable alliance pleases me.
Hmm. Well, we once took this city, the two of us, together.
Oh, wait a minute. Is she talking about Ulrich or Aldrich?
Ulrich. Oh, I misheard you. Sorry. Sorry. Never mind. Um,
Ooh, let's roll back. Okay, sorry. So, uh, when she said that someone was helping her, it was Ulrich or Aldrich?
Ulrich.
Okay. Ulrich is helping her. And then, okay. Johanna was talking about Aldrich the Wise. Is
See,
has
it's really annoying that they are
yes. I
so
will
close.
I will from now on refer to him as Aldrich the Wise. So that
That is probably a good thing. Um, the wise guy. It will just end up in being. Ah, yes. Your close companion.
yes.
Hmm. The two of you are
But
close. I cannot fault you for that.
he has saved my life. And you know how I feel about those who have saved my life.
Oh,
She just
yes.
kind of gestures towards Madeline,
Hmm.
laughing.
We are an accomplished group. She smiles.
You are. It's a bit of an exaggeration, perhaps. He has not saved my life, and yet he has made it endlessly easier, and I do not know what I should have done without him.
Hmm. Salvation can come in many forms.
Ah, well said.
Ulrich, my Ulrich, has never saved my life in that sense, but he has saved my soul.
How interesting.
Very much. It was, well,
I would very much like to hear the story. Your pause suggests that I should not ask, and yet I would very much like to hear this story.
well, perhaps one day I will be able to tell you. Mm,
It sounds like the sort of story that should not be lost, so I hope you have written it down.
I have a very good memory, but, well, it is also of a certain private nature.
But the nights are unpredictable, Madeline. What if you are lost and your story with you?
Well, let us say that I have faith in my own ability to stave off the final death.
May you never be proven wrong. Not for
Hmm.
centuries and centuries. Until we are old and wise as trees. But I hope you don't make me wait so long to hear your story.
I can tell you this much. I was dealing with or in the company of certain beings that are very different from us, but definitely not human. They showed me wonders, but at a price. I was not aware that what they were showing me was corruption. Not in the way of losing yourself to your beast necessarily, not the ones of a demon, but another form, more sinister and different. But Ulrich pointed it to me, confronted me, maybe not violently, but quite firmly. We discussed for a little while, and then I realized I was betraying my road by listening to their lies.
How did he know?
Hmm. It was quite obvious. Besides, he was close by most of the time, watching, keeping an eye on me.
He does that, I see. It was fortunate he appeared when he did in Omar Shadid's shop.
Hmm, yes, very fortunate.
Mm. It was quite a sight. And she'll stick with me for some time.
Hmm. The Lady of Rot, a demon, throwing fire, an angry mob willing to see you at the stake. Quite a few things happen to you, and yet you endure. That is an admirable quality.
Endurance?
Quite so.
Mm. Well, what else can we ask of one another these nights but endurance? The mob concerns me. It has not yet been solved. There is work to do. That is actually why I've come to speak to you,
Hmm?
besides the simple pleasure of doing so.
I see.
They grow restless. I have hardly time to study. I fear that it is not long until another forms. But with my shadow, I cannot go out to deal with the problem as I might otherwise. But if you were to accompany me, perhaps you could hold it at bay.
Oh, I could very much do that.
Well, then I shall have to find some way to entice you. I look forward to it.
Well, I think I could come up with a few ways.
Oh? Is there something you require?
Hmm. I would have to think of it on it for a while. But there are a few things I could think of.
Do think on it.
Hmm. See, I am wondering. This plague, these troubles coming, and certain other things. Great turmoil is coming. It is already here for the most part. Can we really be certain that we can foresee anything, everything coming at us during this? I do not believe that we can.
We cannot.
Hmm. For
What do you
those
mean?
new. Well, I like to see myself as a person who thinks of problems at least a little bit before they become fully, well, formed problems. But whatever this conflict might form into, it is almost impossible to fully, well, make plans for all of the potential ways that this could go.
Indeed. A seneschal with so many to look over, I imagine. If you still could, you'd be sweating.
Hmm. Yes, and have trouble sleeping.
I hope you sleep well.
Oh, I do.
Good. Good. Just watching Madeline fairly closely, trying to see down the path of that conversation before they get there, trying to understand where Madeline's headed with this line of thought.
Well, I am somewhat, perhaps not fearful, but concerned.
Mm.
There is something, there is indeed a dragon under my bed. Anyway, it
I
showed me something. Showed me something I truly cannot let go of. A potentially world-changing thing in the sense of our community. Perhaps this is the war that it will escalate to. Some of the consequences, maybe I was privy to one of them, I do not know. It frightens me that I might see the future, but have no idea what to do with that information.
What have you seen?
Part of a war, one side, one part of one side in the war winning and the other losing.
One part of one side.
Yes, I know it's cryptic. I do not wish to say
More.
something that might be
Mm,
completely wrong or simply a delusion or a ruse meant to trick my mind.
mm.
This is not the only thing that rattles my mind. There are many things. This is but one thing. Another thing is the past. Another thing is the recent past of this city. Well, not this. It is a
Yes. How recent?
couple of years, well, many years ago. I first came here. There was no one here. You have heard of this, yes?
Oh, yes. We spoke a little.
A little, yes. But my research into this, my way of prodding at this problem, have gotten me little, very little. And I would really like to learn exactly what happened. It is an unsolved mystery. It is something that gnaws at my mind.
I know a little. Perhaps a lot.
Oh?
Yes. I was perhaps a little incautious. What have you sought to learn? Perhaps what I know is something you do not.
Hmm. When you say you were a bit uncautious, that sounds like you, but, well, sometimes that is very. Sometimes a gamble can pay off.
Indeed, that
Did
is the
you
point of gambling.
did you speak to someone, or
I did. I have seen the face of the end.
Madeline looks at you? Did you speak to...
Hang on, she's got to roll here because it wasn't pretty. She's going to. This is her composure. Yes. Successes. So yeah, she
What exactly did you see?
um Johanna gives her kind of a thoughtful look, her expression fairly bland. I saw the death of the Canaanites, but I do not know why.
Hmm. So you talked to the red man?
I did.
He showed you what he showed me.
Did he?
A vision. The sense of running in the
Sister
night.
Madeline, were you as incautious as I? She actually gets to her feet and moves towards Madeline. Um,
And she just says, well, sometimes gambles do pay off. But yes, I was as uncautious, but unafraid. A monster clad in darkness, hunting down the fear of whoever was Cainite was running in an alley, getting caught by this monstrosity. That is what you saw, no?
I saw the alley. There was no running, and the fear was mine.
Well, it was a while ago that I saw it, but it seems close enough. Besides, it was the
Ash?
red it was the red man who gave you this vision. It can change, I suppose, given that his well, perception of the world probably changes.
Indeed.
You said Ash.
Yes. A great deal of ash. And the street ran with vitae. Can you tell me, without frenzy, of the beast that you saw?
It was not human in appearance. It was hard to see. It was clad in darkness.
Yes, a deep darkness.
There was traces of something that would be perhaps obtenebration. However, the person I was following or that the one that was being hunted when I saw it seemed to wield obtenebration themselves. Whatever the case, it seemed that the person, well, the monster, had more than one rather exotic discipline at its disposal.
Do you think it was a Canaanite?
I almost I cannot say that I truly mean what I when I say I kind of hope so. given the fact that we can at least have a good idea of its weaknesses and some idea of its limitations. If not, well, it might be able to do very many things we have no idea of.
Yes. I've searched every bestiary I could get my hands on for some sign of the creature. Its wide mouth, the eyes.
Can you describe it? You seem to have gotten a better look at it, so to say, than I have.
We looked one another in the eyes. It had huge fangs and its mouth was. She kind of draws lines on her cheeks, like going out from her mouth, like the jester's scars.
And Madeline will just say, "A maw."
A maw. Yes. It was huge and thin, starved, famished, diseased, and much of it was just writhing bone. Bone that moved, shifted. It looked at me with deep eyes, red, predator's eyes, and it did not simply intend to kill me. I
That
watched
could,
it tear the heart out of a victim.
well, that could sound like a beast hungry for diablerie. A very
There,
old beast, simply not able to sate its thirst.
yes. The alley was a river of blood. The walls were smeared with symbols. Not blood, vitae. Vitae. In the street. And ash. A cloud of ash. The city was covered in ash.
Madeline will go over, seeing that Joanna is somewhat distraught by this. She will go over and just hug her and just put Joanna's head on her shoulders. Do not worry. I will do all I can to protect you.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Well, you sound a bit worried, but very
I
nice.
certainly take it I certainly take it seriously. And it was a terrifying vision. And the encounter itself was a bit fraught. I'm curious how you have come out of it so unfazed.
Mm.
Tell me what preparations you made. Wiser than I.
Oh, well, let's assume that it is what I think it might be. Whatever preparations I might have made might be pointless.
I mean to speak to our advisor.
Our advisor?
The one who gave us visions.
Hmm. That is a tall order. I
What did you
haven't,
do?
I have not spoken to him in a long time. Not directly, not in any deeper sense. I simply asked him, quite, quite intently, if he knew anything of what happened here. Because the conversation or something was of, well, the former citizens, and he had been quiet, and he simply put head, his hand on my head, and in came the vision.
Mm, how interesting.
Oh, by the way, have you met a delightful young man, well, young, a member of Clan Gangrel named Torvald?
Yes. Oh, yes. I believe we met him together some time ago.
Oh, this is correct.
It's been some time now that I think of it since I've seen him at all.
Hmm. Yes, the plague and all things, and is quite possessive mistress.
Indeed. Have you met her yet?
No, but I am soon going to, and I hope to take over, what shall we say, the stewardship of Torvald, a worthy disciple or student. I honestly think he is wasted in her, well, under her. She does not appreciate him as she should. He is, and Madeline's smile grows quite wide, quite enjoyable.
I see. He's an extremely striking man, and he seemed quick witted and clever with his
Oh,
tongue.
he is quite the man, yes.
I am pleased you found such a diversion. I hope he makes you a worthy companion.
Oh, he will be a great student and teacher, both, and I will be both to him.
Hmm. She nods. I wish him well in your mysteries.
Hmm.
Tell me, what happens when a plant drinks of your blood?
Oh, well, it grows stronger,
Does it?
grows, it simply becomes more strong, but it is also a symbol, an important thing for me to do, given
I,
my path and my road. Seeds take many forms, and cultivating a garden is like cultivating so many other things. One's students, one's plans, one's investments. They are like seeds, you must tend to them. and you must harvest them when they are ripe.
Mm. In this garden, then. This is all strong with your blood.
No, it is.
Its roots go deep and speak your name quietly into the soil.
Mm. And I sleep amongst these flowers.
How can you do so?
She smiles.
You do not fear the sunlight.
No, I do not. Why? One does not need to fear the sunlight.
Johanna's brows raise. You have been very close with the gangrel, then. I have heard legends of them sleeping among flowers.
Why do you think that Torvald is in my sights? I am very close to the gangrel, indeed.
You do
They
love
are.
to learn, Madeline.
Oh, I do. But I also respect them. They are hunters, they are blunt, but they believe that learning is not something only done in a study. It is also done by taking blows, taking strikes from whatever teacher might be around. And they respect truth more so than others. I can respect them for that.
I very much enjoyed your sheriff. I have not known many gangrel except briefly. But those I have met, Torvald, Oktar. As recommendations for their clan, I think they serve very well.
I have met a few that were fools, but Oktar is a good man.
Yes. Madeline, the dragon under your bed. It is not the beast of years past, I hope.
I do not know what it is.
But it does not seem like. Yes?
Not at all. I don't think that this, whatever my dragon is, it is also still finding out itself indeed what it is.
How terrifying.
And wondrous all at the same time.
Children are very dangerous.
No, this it is not a child in that sense.
Oh?
It is a bit more complicated.
You're all secrets.
Yes. However, this is one instance where I have sworn that I would not say certain things. So you must, I am afraid, be content with what I have told you by now.
I'm content.
Well, my dearest Joanna, I am truly sorry, but I must return to my duties. But I will, of course, follow you to your carriage, if you would allow me.
Yes. Our enemies
And
gather close, Madeline. What will Timorin do with the Nosferatu?
I do not know if there is any in the city. Our two clans, sadly, have, well, never really haven't gotten along for quite some time, couple of 100 years. In the Holy Land, we've always seemed to be against each other. I thought this will change. I do not know what we will do.
Mm. Johanna reaches up and rubs a hand gently across her forehead, just the fingertips, and then nods and slides to her feet. There are
Please.
many busy nights ahead.
Oh, yes, there is.
Think on my offer. I may come begging your help with my shadow in order to keep the fires from my walls once more. I simply cannot afford to keep replacing my carpets.
Well, Gufran has quality, but it can be a bit pricey. But I will assist you in this. Do not worry.
Thank you.
And the two will see each other, or Madeline will see Joanna off,
Mhm.
and she will just hug her once more. And as she is left out of the city, Madeline will return to her duties, and the scene will come to a close. And one of the players will fall asleep.